So a couple of weeks ago, after mindlessly scrolling through Netflix to find my next watch, I stumbled upon Black Mirror. And after the hype it got like a while ago, I decided to take upon myself and give my much needed opinion on it. However, one thing I did notice about the show was that to promote season 7, Netflix decided to change the entire order of the show. And after 2 episodes or so, I kind of realized I was watching the show backwards. But, instead of, booking a ticket and getting a trip to season 1, I decided, fuck it. I'm here anyway. So, I watched the show backwards. And after a few episodes in or out, I don't know the reverse terminology for it. I stumbled upon Maisie Day and oh boy, was it something. Good evening everybody and welcome to my humble abode. I am Lamar and today
Shut up! Huh?
Well, that was fucking rude. Anyway, today we're talking about Black Mirror. Or, well, technically an episode of Black Mirror, but like, who gives a shit? And before you hop onto Google, because your Netflix is taking its sweet ass time loading, let me give you a background on Black Mirror first. Or a background, if you will. Or maybe a Black Mirror ground. That seems kind of basic. I'll workshop the name. Black Mirror is a science fiction anthology series, and each episode is its own standalone story. It's often set in the near future or an entirely alternate present. It explores the dark, sometimes dystopian consequences of modern and emerging technologies on society and individuals. Well, mainly. You're probably wondering why I'm even mentioning this. Like I mentioned earlier, I stumbled upon this and I had zero expectations whatsoever. And yet I was still somehow bewildered by what I saw. And before I get to my point, I need to give you a little context. The characters or the characters. Okay, now I'm like too much made. Zazie Beetz, aka Bo, aka Mommy Milky, Sucky Wacky, Yucky Stucky, is the protagonist of our whole mess, which is surprising to me when the episode is quite literally called Maisie Day. She stars as this struggling paparazzi whose second most troublesome issue is paying rent on time to the landlord situation.
Really delicate sinuses. And when you fry garlic and ginger, it just...
The guy's an insult. Oh, wait, can I say that? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. This is my first time doing this. He's a soy boy beta cucker. I'll call him that. Yeah. Clara Ruggard. Nope, that's not. However you pronounce her last name, I most likely butchered it. I apologize for that. Wait, is this a bit close? I feel like this is a bit close. You won't believe who she stars as. No, I feel like that's a bit high pitch. Maisie Day! It's Maisie Day, everyone! It's Maisie Day! Maisie Day! I feel like a lot of you aren't as excited as I am for this. This is breaking news, guys. This is Maisie Day. She is a well-known in-universe young actress, and I have a sneaking suspicion that her being so well-known has something to do with the paparazzi needing a little bit of cash. Danny Ramirez.
They create like it's little magic buns. Donuts. Magic buns.
His name's Hector. He's Bo's right-hand man. He's also a paparazzi, but he doesn't really contribute that much to the story, if I'm being honest. Robbie Tan and James P. Reese, Whitty and Duke. They're also paparazzi, but they contribute even less to the story. But like, no shame to the actors. Shame to the fucking screenwriter, man. That's about all the context you need. Well, all the context I'm gonna give you before I start. Like I actually start this time. And since we're starting, let's start with start with the plot. Yeah, the plot. The plot. It's working? Yay! Los Angeles, the city of angels. Well, city of fallen angels. Los Angeles, the city of fallen angels. Los Santos, La La Land, whatever you want to call it. You know the place. The episode starts with Bo camping in a beat-up SUV outside a motel, waiting for something, or rather someone in particular. And just then, out walks two men. You know, nothing strange in the slightest, but it does raise some questions when Bo quick draws her camera, snap a picture. And thinking she's done a job well done, she's completely caught off guard when the guy starts frantically knocking on her window. And she's just sitting there like... Anyway, Bo makes a great escape and the man she was spying on kills himself. Eventually, we get to meet the star of our episode, and she a mess. I don't know what it is with young celebrities and getting themselves like messed up. And don't get me wrong, they're their own people and they're 100% allowed to do whatever the hell they want. But the only reason they're even capable of doing whatever the hell they want is because of the audience's appreciation of their hard work. No matter how hard you work for something, you won't really make it if there's no one else to appreciate your hard work. Our value is how valuable we are to others. Unless like you like getting high in the forest or some shit, you know, there's never just one side to a story. While walking offset, her assistant tells her that Stefan left a present for her. That's a dick joke if you couldn't get it. And then she proceeds to do what every young actor before the age of 27 would do in the situation. She does him. She does it. She does the shrooms. If you couldn't tell, the innuendo I made earlier was that he gave her drugs. She ends up breaking something, and in her time of need, she feels that she needs a smoke. However, with perfect product placement, it turns out that the box is empty, and she heads out to grab some more. If you really think about it, even the smartest individuals wouldn't even bring themselves near a steering wheel while being intoxicated. I mean, let alone let this thing drive itself. And now obviously, the first thing you do after hitting someone with your car is to keep on driving. But this fucking idiot decides to investigate the situation. I mean, like, why would you do that in the Czech Republic, bro? They got like forest hobgoblins and shit. And like last time I checked, you got a shit ton of forest around you. I mean, for fuck's sake. See, this is this is the fucking shit I'm talking about, dog. Oh wait, never mind. It cuts back to her packing her stuff. I think she did kill him. But like, to be fair, if you were casted for this Game of Thrones reboot, however terrible it may be, would you want a criminal record? And who knows what they would have done to her in the Czech Republic. She dons on her Avengers merch and heads over to the crime scene the next day, which is really fucking stupid of her. Her driver then tells her that a man was killed in a hit and run accident. And her acting skills come into play because she looks shocked, as if she is the one that did it. Back with Bo, the soy boy states a problem for her.
As you know, your share of the rent is late.
And Hector proposes a solution to that problem by telling her the bounty for Maisie Day.
Nick's offering $30K for the first photo of her.
Not like for a hit or anything, like for a picture, because she's paparazzi and Maisie Day has been missing for a couple weeks. I feel like I could have worded this better. So Bo whips out her detective skills and starts asking a suspicious amount of questions. So many so that I'm surprised the police weren't involved in this. But then again, it's for continuity's sake, so why am I complaining? But she does eventually stumble upon a valuable piece of information. The stakeout place that has Maisie Day's favorite treat or whatever, it's not really that important to the story. She ends up meeting someone there who claims to know where Maisie Day's been these past few weeks. Bo then proceeds to have a little stakeout, and while this is happening, Maisie Day is having Vietnam flashbacks of the night back in Czech. And we get to see a little bit more, like that she actually went to go investigate the guy and he was still breathing. But before we get too much information, it cuts to the next day with the maid entering the house. And boy, did she miss out on the orgy last night. Like, am I right or am I right? No, but seriously, she comes back to the entire place being trashed. Bo then conveniently wakes up in time to see an SUV pull up into the place and snaps a couple pictures with an expensive ass camera. Damn, running around with that thing and you telling me you can't pay rent? Yeah, right, man. It then cuts to this doctor having a conversation with Maisie and basically diagnosing her with bipolar disorder.
That you're not in control of this.
To which they enlist her in an insane asylum?
Private out of town for a few days.
They then proceed to transport her to this reserve with Bo trailing behind. Huh. Not anymore. Damn. With all hope out of the window, she just ends up grabbing a coffee at this really convenient diner. But the only inconvenience here is that the only person that owns a tow truck nearby is out for the rest of the day. And the only form of a place to stay is already reserved for one rich person trying to get
straight on the down low.
And that's a little suspicious to me. With a few dots connecting, Bo makes a call and Hector shows up and they both end up heading over to the retreat. But without any clearance, they can't really enter the place. Now with their hope at yet another steady decline, the two best characters in the episode show up, Witty and Duke.
Hey, ladies!
Now with the gang together, they search for a way in. Duke ends up finding a hole in the wall and crawls through it. But barely. The rest of them follow shortly after. This reserve must be massive, man, because the sun's already set and they've just caught wind of people. This really puts our paparazzi work into perspective for me, and I'm assuming for you too. But it's really interesting to me that they just snap pics at the sight of anything even remotely related to what they're looking for.
That's the guy who slashed my tires. Busy days here.
Well, I guess that's a clear indication. Okay, now with the bang bus gone, the gang rushes the treehouse and holy shit, for free! While our war veteran reminisces in old memories, the guys, except Bo, try their best to get a picture of her. Bo eventually notices something.
Is that a fucking chain around her neck?
Kinky shit.
Okay, that was kind of funny. Bo, being the compassionate human being that she is, busts the lock on the door and tries to res Maisie Day, while the guys open fire like it's damn open season.
So much for sexy shots.
You gotta go.
Bro, I'm being so dead ass. I would have been the hell out of there, man. Now while Bo tries her best to get her out of the situation, Hector notices an important piece of information to explain what exactly the fuck is going on. And you yourself might be wondering, what the fuck am I watching? Dude, I'm wondering the same fucking thing.
Look away, please. You don't understand.
You're right. I don't fucking understand. And I sure as hell don't want to. If someone told me to get out of this weird ass sex dungeon, I would've cut the cameras and rolled up out of here, man. Settle down, settle down. Anyway, the guys stopped flashing her after she was practically on her knees begging to stop. Wait, no way, no fucking. What the fuck? What the fuck?
We gotta go. Just a couple more.
See, now that confuses me. Am I the wrong one in this situation? Like, this doesn't seem realistic whatsoever. But and again, being realistic was never really a good argument for any form of media. You know what, pal? You take those photos. You fucking deserve. Okay. Bo and Hector are long gone after witnessing this Teen Wolf bullshit, and Duke puts his little pork tail between his legs and gets the fuck out of there. Hector and Bo make it back to the hole from earlier with Duke hard on their asses. Damn, Duke. I'm mistaken you, man. Maybe I didn't give you enough credit before. Never mind. I gave him the right amount of credit. Hector brings up a valid point for stealing a dead man's property.
The shots are worth $1 million each, Bo! $1 million each!
Duke gets forced to have a slumber party with Whitty somewhere else, as Hector and Bo hightail it back down the trail to the diner. Well, not without assisting Dyer here with another fucking kill. They make it back to the diner and they try their best to barricade the place. And like, I get that they're being chased by a werewolf or whatever, but like, explain it to the guy that owns the place. Or at least to the cop. Like, do they not get that they look like psychos right now? The cop has a very valid response to this, and yet she just does not seem to grasp how insane she looks right now. Oh hey, whoa, don't even think about it. Okay, I mean, you kinda brought this on yourself, man. BLM's got nothing to do with this. Huh, yeah. I did say they tried their best to barricade the place. Not good enough, but the best nonetheless. Imagine being this couple, man. Here you are, enjoying your bacon, egg and cheese sandwich, and all of a sudden, you see this motherfucker walking towards you. Tough shit, man. Damn. Poor dude, man. He was so chill, and then they just kill him off like that. I just can't believe they did that to... I forgot his name. But like, he had his own things going on. He looked like he had his own story. This is like the equivalent of an off-screen death, I'll be honest. Papa Hector, no! And there was a little glimmer of hope. Imagine this is visually what happens in some schools in America. And oh, fuck. That was kind of inappropriate. I'm sorry for that. With Peter's stump sorted out, Bo makes it over to Hector, who gives her the camera with all the pictures on it and disconnects. Bo then walks back and sees Maisie Day bleeding out on the floor, begging her to kill me. But you know, obviously, Bo's gotta do it for the TikTok and make a quick buck. So she hands the gun to Maisie Day herself, who then oh shit. Damn. I'm gonna be honest here. I know I've been clowning this episode the entire time. Like, there was definitely some things that could have been done differently. Well, a lot of things. I just find the whole idea of her being a werewolf stupid. Like, there's so much they could have done here, and they chose this? There just wasn't a connection between the viewer and the characters. At least not one that I felt. And correct me if I'm wrong, I doubt you felt it either. And it's not to say that the show is incapable of doing that. From my experience of watching the inverse order of the show, they've done it a numerous amount of times. I just feel like I haven't gotten enough from this. And I understand how I may come off saying that. And you're probably sitting behind your little magic box thinking,
"Oh, Lamar, you're being so arrogant and biased."
My brother. That's completely true, man. The message behind this episode, and don't quote me on this because I'm quoting. Well, no, I'm paraphrasing to be specific. Actually, according to the singular Google search I made, is that a person who exposes other people's secrets will end up raw and exposed themselves? I'm not sure what that means, but if I had to guess, I'd say...
Why don't you just